like as far as I know, I don't think that there is sort of a non-technical, intuitive, insightful type of reason for the 9 spatial dimensions. I do believe, unfortunately, it's a very mathematical and technical outcome or really requirement of string theory. The physicist Ernest Rutherford once said, in essence, that if you can't explain a result in simple, non-technical terms, then you don't really understand it. He wasn't saying that this means your result is wrong. Rather, he was saying that it means you do not fully understand its origin, meaning, or implications. So Rutherford had mentioned, this is part of the sort of criticism of string theory, is that if you're saying you need this 9 spatial dimensions, but you cannot give a simple answer without doing a bunch of math on the board as to why, then maybe you don't understand it. Now, the author is saying, well, that could be. Maybe they don't understand. Maybe string theorists don't fully understand string theory. It's possible, but that does not necessarily mean that that's wrong. It could just be that they just don't get it fully to the point where they can explain the 9 spatial dimensions in a more intuitive way, okay? So perhaps this is true regarding the extra-dimensional character of string theory. In fact, let's take this opportunity to brace parenthetically for a central aspect of the second superstring revolution that we will discuss in chapter 12. The calculation underlying the conclusion that there are 10 space-time dimensions, so the 9 space plus the 1 time dimension, making it 10 space-time. So once again, general relativity is 4 space-time with just the 3 space plus 1 time. And string theory, this string theory, superstring theory, is 10 space-time, okay? So this turns out to be approximate. In the mid-1990s, Witten, so this is Ed Witten, based on his own insights and previous work by Michael Duff from Texas A&M University and Chris Hall and Paul Townsend from Cambridge University, gave convincing evidence that the approximate calculation actually misses 1 space dimension. Gosh. String theory, he argued to most string theorists' amazement, actually requires 10 space dimensions and 1 time dimension for a total of 11 dimensions. So now, after all of the digestion that we had to do about the 9 space dimensions and 1 time dimension, making it 10 space-time, some people are suggesting with their evolved work that it might actually be 11 space-time. Okay, so 10 space dimensions and 1 time dimension. If you're feeling sick of this, just hang tight. We will see what the person has to say about it, okay? We will ignore this important result until chapter 12. So we will just ignore it for now, that in certain evolution of this work, it might even be 10 space plus 1 time. But at that point, honestly, once you've digested the 9 space dimensions, this is already kind of pushing us to open our minds quite a bit. So maybe it's not so shocking that there might even be 1 more. Second, but I will say of everything I've seen so far, it's generally, string theory is generally quoted as having either the 10 or the 11 total dimensions. So it's either 10 space-time or 11 space-time. 1 more may be a thing. Yes, agreed, Alfredo. Second, if the equations of string theory, or more precisely, the approximate equations guiding our pre-chapter 12 discussion. So turns out, here's my Fuji Baba, turns out that in chapter 12, maybe later on, we will consider even 1 more space dimension than what we have mentioned so far. But for now, we will accept this approximation. Hi, Fuji. Hi, 1 second, please. I have a guest who is here to discuss his own string theory. Hi, Shona. Hi, Shona. Hi. I understand you need attention. Good boy. He needs attention. He needs attention. So everything, the world needs to stop right now so Fuji Baba can get attention, okay? Hi, baby. Do you want to hit mama? That's okay. He likes to be loved and then he likes to attack me. Second, if the equations of string theory, or more precisely, the approximate equations guiding our pre-chapter